Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is our Lucha Underground review. And I got to say, for me personally, as a hardcore Mundo and Worldwide Underground mark, this episode was quite special because we got our Atomicos main event. Would Mundo join the Reptile Tribe, or would he get his wish granted? A lot to unpack there. We also had a Gift of the Gods championship match between Mariposa and El Dragon Azteca Jr., as well as a Sacrifice to the Gods matchup, and a rivalry continued that led to some very interesting developments. So on the whole, a solid episode of Lucha Underground tonight. And I'm going to hand it over to my cohort and commentary. Ashton, what did you think about this?
Yeah, man. I enjoyed this show. I think I remember correctly, I enjoyed last week's show on the whole a little bit more, but I liked the ending to this week a little bit more because, I was not a fan of the whole, chopping the head off of Vibora thing. But as it turns out, he was most likely injured, and that's why they had to kill him off. I probably would have preferred them to find some other way to write him off for the season rather than killing him off because, again, you're devaluing death in your own universe, and they continue devaluing death tonight by bringing back Jeremiah Crane from the death as Jeremiah Snake, which we're going to have to talk about that as well. But on the whole, though, this was a really good episode. I would say a bit of a bounce back week from the down that I was feeling at the end of last week's episode. But yeah, man, solid episode on the whole, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. So let's get into this.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Given that we had a bit of criticism last week, I do just want to open up with the question, is there anything you want to air out negatively about this week's episode? Because I know there was something I feel like you and I were both feeling. I don't know if you just want to kind of address that here.
Well, no, really, it's just the way that Jeremiah Crane being brought back was kind of handled, and the name, Jeremiah Snake, not a fan of that. The fact that his attire is completely unchanged, not a fan of that. It definitely doesn't feel very Lucha Underground to me.
Yeah, I mean, with a promotion that's so good at like taking people and putting them under different gimmicks, which I think is part of the brilliance of their model, right? To just snap the word snake on it and change virtually nothing else. It's a bit disappointing, especially because this is a character with Jeremiah Crane that I know he can play that deranged type, and if you wanted to fit it around more of a snake aesthetic, I think there's promise there, but there's clearly not a lot of elbow grease in this gimmick to me. Only other criticism I'd want to air out is, again, Mariposa continues to be, in my mind, one of the most underutilized people in the Luchaverse. I really don't like that El Dragon Azteca Jr. kicked out of the butterfly effect, especially when there is no established rivalry, there is no heated history or anything like that. It was just a spot in a match, and to me, it just didn't make any sense. But yeah, those are the only criticisms I have. So I guess let us get right into our Lucha Underground review. And we open up with a cinematic, Ashton, between Mariposa and Antonio Cueto. So unpack this for us and tell us what you thought.
Yeah, Mariposa being very seductive, very flirty, and trying to get her way, and including whipping out a few, bundles of $100 bills. And yeah, man, she wants a Gift of the Gods match, and Antonio naturally gives into her and lets her have the match that she wants.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, the most interesting line of this to me, and I mentioned it in live reactions, was when Mariposa said, my father told me so much about you, but the stories don't do you justice. I've always fantasized about, being...
Right, like the idea that Antonio Cueto is this figure of legend in the Aztec tribes.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And I'd like to know more about that, because one thing that I've always been looking forward to, and I feel like Lucha Underground is building to slowly, is that big cataclysmic clash among all the tribes.
Right.
And I would love to, when we get backstories on the tribes, one element of all those stories I would like to know would be the Cueto family's relationship to those tribes. Did they favor some tribes and had a cold shoulder towards others? Were there two tribes that they pretended to befriend simply for the sake that they would negate each other? Because the Cueto family is clearly a very powerful family with a deep history with Aztec mythology and like those dark arts and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think there is so much passion for possibility there that I still know Lucha Underground can fulfill, you know. So I'd love to see that. But she said, I haven't come to seduce you. And we ultimately get around to setting up the Gift of the Gods matchup for later tonight. So I thought it was a great tone setter to open the show. I've really got nothing else to say about the cinematic. Unless you do, we can move on.
All right, then I guess we can move on. And up next, we got a Sacrifice to the Gods match. It was Paul London and Mala Suerte and Saltador out in the ring. Antonio Cueto comes out and tells them that he only wants one of them for this match. Paul London chooses Mala Suerte, and then he and Saltador leave the ring, and Mala Suerte gets into a match with Matanza.
Yeah, a match that really doesn't last very long. We know Paul London was kind of explaining, I guess more or less, that Mala Suerte has been disappointing and that he's going to have a chance to prove it with a little tussle tonight. And the match itself really wasn't anything to write home about. Mala Suerte tried doing his bunny hop spot, and he got it off, the drop kick, but didn't phase Matanza. He pretty much clobbered him. Moments later, Wrath of the Gods, we get a sacrifice, and the only thing worth noting was that Paul London seemed very happy about it. He was smiling all the way through, didn't really seem to care. And yeah, that was all there really was to that. So Ashton, your thoughts?
Yeah, that was kind of strange. I'm curious if that means that it was maybe like an intended thing where like maybe the White Rabbit told him that you need to sacrifice Mala Suerte, and that's why he was so confident about choosing Mala Suerte to be the one. Or maybe I don't know, man. It's if there's going to be any kind of backstory as far as what happened here, or if we're just going to luck into, okay, now the White Rabbit joins Paul London and Saltador as a trio, and they're going to go after the trios titles. We'll see.
Actually, I'm going to ask you something, and I don't know if you would remember this or not, so I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just like tying this in to really show that Lucha Underground still really has those strengths with narrative continuity, because I believe the Rabbit Tribe challenged for the Trios Championships last week. Did Mala Suerte eat the pin in that match?
Oh, that is a good question. We'll have to go back and find that out.
Yeah, like if anybody could even tell us in chat if they honestly remember, I would really appreciate that, because if that's the case, that makes this all the more an intelligent decision to me that he would be sacrificed, because, hey, we were going for the big gold that would give our tribe a lot of credibility, and you shit the bed, so now you got to pay the price. And as I already said in live reactions, because you're probably and Jacob Cass saying yes, he was. So taking Jacob Cass's word for it, that makes it even better, that there's actually a logical reason behind Paul London's promo saying that he's being disappointing. Well, of course, in the biggest match since they, found the White Rabbit, Mala Suerte eats the pin. So I really like that. See, that's where Lucha Underground really is at their best, and I have to give them credit, that sense of continuity there. Yeah. And now that you've supposedly trimmed the fat or gotten rid of the quote-unquote weakest link, if the White Rabbit steps in to be the third man, right, I would really expect the Rabbit Tribe to start winning from then on and maybe even become the next Trios champions. So I'm not saying they will be, because we've even gotten developments tonight that's like, oh, well, maybe it'll go here instead. But yeah, I thought it was very cool. Very cool. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm still digging the Rabbit Tribe, and we'll see what they do next.
Yeah, man. Up next, we had a tag team match. It was Jack Evans and Joey Ryan teaming up to take on the team of X-Olicious and Ivelisse.
Yeah, your thoughts on this?
I actually enjoyed the match. I feel like X-Olicious is impressing me every time I see him work in the ring. Definitely a welcome addition to season 4. I'm glad to have X-Olicious around. And Jack Evans ended up not only winning this match by submission, but winning with a pretty vicious modified Goga Plata, which he then held on for way longer than he should have after the bell had already rung.
I just want to say very quickly, I know Alyssa, when X-Olicious came out, said her tag team partner. You said him, so I'm just going to try and keep it to her, which is what Melissa said. But yeah, she is very impressive.
Well, see, and every time I hear commentary refer to X-Olicious, I hear them refer to X-Olicious as a he, so I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, because I just heard Melissa say her, because I feel like I was saying him in the past and I wasn't sure. And then when she said her, I'm like, okay, I'll just go with that. So I guess I'll still go with that. But yeah, they got to work that out. But regardless, fun tag matchup. You know, Exolicious, like you, I'm more impressed with her every time I see her. Evilise, it's a weird direction she's in, man. I thought she'd be doing something other than this. Not saying what she's doing is bad by any means. I just thought she'd be on a different trajectory because she finally seems to be healthy, you know what I mean? But maybe that's why she's on this course. Maybe Lucha Underground is feeling just a bit tentative. They're like, okay, let's just see her if she can stay healthy for a season and then like pull the trigger. I don't know. But it was a fun tag matchup. You know, Joey Ryan's a great character performer. He's never really wowed me in ring. He's again more of a character. Jack Evans, brilliant athleticism and stuff like that. And unique narrative developments here at the end of the match because he gets the go-go blada at the end, you know, the choke. Exolicious passes out. Jack Evans does not relent the hold. And even Joey Ryan's like, yo, dude, what the hell? Like, what's going on here? And, you know, Jack Evans refuses to relent. And then Evilise has to come in and, like, forcibly stomp on Jack Evans. So, you know, and then Evilise just kind of watching over Exolicious while Jack Evans is hearing it from Joey Ryan. So where do you see this angle branching off? Do you see more interactions between Joey Ryan and Exolicious? Do you see more interactions between Jack Evans and Exolicious?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It definitely seems like Jack Evans and Exolicious are going to keep their thing going. I think this might have been the end of the Evilise Joey Ryan issue. They might be moving on to different things. Just because by the end of the match, Joey Ryan was actually trying to help Exolicious. Like he was trying to get Evilise or trying to get Jack Evans to relent. So I think Joey and Evilise might be cool at this point.
Yeah, I feel like that beef has been squashed. I'd be intrigued by a Joey Ryan Exolicious angle because like the relevance of Joey Ryan being a cop really has been brought up for a while now. So if you wanted to do a different kind of narrative mining just based on Joey Ryan's interests and just him being, again, like that more piggish character sexually, that's a route that you can go. Although he seemed to be endeared by Exolicious, which is also an interesting point, you know, make him less one-dimensional that way. So if they want to do that, that's great. Jack Evans, meanwhile, you know, really wanting to hurt Exolicious, you could play that up as well. Maybe this could even mean a Technico turn for Joey Ryan. You know, we're getting people becoming Technicos that I really didn't even know. And we'll come back to that for our main event tonight. But yeah, great tag match. And yeah, the heels win, Joey Ryan and Jack Evans, but not without paying a price. I mean, Joey Ryan did not seem to like what happened. So we'll see what goes down there. And yeah, that's all I can say about it. So we can move on to the next thing.
And before we do move on to the next thing, I would like to say thank you and welcome to Thunder Rosa, who's joining us in chat, known in Lucha Underground as Cobra Moon. I saw she said hello to me because obviously she and you have a little beef going on. So she said hello to me and I welcomed her to chat and she said, thanks. We want to thank you for gracing us with your presence, Queen Cobra Moon.
I mean, you want to do that. I want to know how second place tastes.
See, no, I'm speaking for both of us, and you can.
Well, yeah, wash your mouth out with soap. Don't you ever speak for me when you know I ride with World Underground forever. But in all seriousness, I am very grateful to see Thunder Rosa in our chat. She's an absolutely wonderful human being. Great performance tonight, and we will be getting to that later. But Ashley, what did come after this?
She's recruiting. I guess that goes to show you she's not happy with her newest recruit, Jeremiah Snake.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, we'll get to that. So what came after this, bud?
After this, we had our second match, or our third match, I guess it would be, of the night. Mariposa versus El Dragon Azteca Jr. And yeah, man, before the match even started, Mariposa hits the low blow on El Dragon Azteca Jr. while the ref was looking away, and then kicks him right in the inner thigh. And the referee was concerned, like, oh, hey, you going after the balls? And she was just like, no, inner thigh. And we get the match. And like you said, she does end up hitting the butterfly effect, but just for a 2 count. And El Dragon Azteca Jr. ends up picking up the victory here.
Yeah, this was disappointing, dude. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I feel like we've said everything that could be said in live reactions. But man, like you get a low blow, you hit your finish, and then you just get caught with like this pin, pretty much a victory roll with like the legs crossed. Which I mean, fine, you catch the heel out of nowhere. We've seen it plenty of times. It's nothing new. But I just feel like, you know, she deserves better. You look at the mythos of the Mariposa character, you know, her tribe and everything else. even with the narrative workaround of, oh, Marty, it was really supposed to be you, which, I mean, I'm cool with. I love Marty to death. You know this. It doesn't mean, though, that, like, you should just be able to shortchange Mariposa. I would say that, oh, maybe this will mean something, but they really haven't given me any reason to believe that it's going to mean something in her context.
No, I think the only thing that this is going to mean is that El Dragon Azteca Jr. is going to be a fighting champion, probably hold the title for a little while, and it also kind of gave me almost like a little bit of ease of mind because I know now pretty much for certain that Mariposa is never going to be pushed as a main event type talent in Lucha Underground. And yes, for those of you wondering, it did in fact take me this long to figure it out.
Yeah, hey, you and me both, man. No shame in that. I think I'm pretty much resigned myself to the same place you are, you know, mentally with her, which is really a shame because she's so good in the ring, and to actually have a character to enhance that, it's a really great packaging. One of the better ones I think that Lucha Underground has. And to see that, like, this is the limit of that, like, I can't lie. You know, when something's disappointing, it's disappointing, and then that's disappointing to me. But yeah, I guess that's all I can say about it. We can move on.
All right. Well, if we're moving on, then up next we got the main event match, man. We've got Cobra Moon coming out and telling Johnny Mundo that what he did last week was cold-blooded and that she respects that, but that naturally she is not out of tricks because she ended up reviving through her venom Jeremiah Crane, now known as Jeremiah Snake.
Yeah. God, the moment she said it, I love Cobra Moon, all that stuff. I know we have our fun, but she's amazing. But the moment she said it, I snickered a bit because I'm like, really, we're doing this? But yeah, Jeremiah Snake. I will say this gimmick is totally worth it if they straight up jack from the Metal Gear series and like Jeremiah's in cahoots with somebody else, like navigating them through the temple and stuff. Just go straight video game with this shit if you're gonna call him Jeremiah Snake. But yeah, there it is. He's the guy. Worldwide Underground comes out. Johnny Mundo pretty much says, you know, Comaroon, it's interesting that you swapped out a team member. You know, you benched somebody because I was thinking the same thing. And then he looks to Ricky. He's like, sorry, Ricky. You're not going to do the job on this one.
Yeah, this is one job you won't have to do.
Yeah. And he replaces Ricky with freaking Aerostar of all people, which really solidified for me because I will say with Lucha Underground, where I think they did a fine job, like I'm not angry about this. I feel like maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe that was it. But I felt like it was ambiguous to me for a while, like who the faces and who the heels were, because one moment I think, oh, is Worldwide Underground the baby faces because Vibora was sicked on Mundo and Aztec Warfare, but then like Worldwide Underground would keep an attack going post-match when a match ended and do a lot of interference. So I'm like, what's going on? But Aerostar being the partner clearly draws the line. You know, Reptile Tribe are the Rudos, Worldwide Underground are the Technicos, and it's interesting. Like, I've really just got to take this time to say Lucha Underground knows how to do Mundo as a babyface the right way, because it's really like nothing's different except, you know, maybe he's a bit kinder around the edges, which we'll get to in a second. But actually, I want you to go first because obviously I'm the fanboy. I'll have a lot to say about this. What did you think of this main event?
Well, no, man, I feel like the big thing as far as what you said, I think that you're absolutely right. Johnny Mundo, it's hard to get him right as a babyface because he's not a natural babyface promo, but they're definitely doing a good job by just having him be himself, having him be this Johnny Mundo character that he's been since he turned Rudo, but they're just having him do it against other bad guys. So it's like he is the good guy now. And I love to, I also want to make the point, whoever is in charge of naming Lucha Underground episodes did a great job with this one. Because if you look at the title, first of all, anytime I see Heaven being mentioned, knowing that Angelico isn't in Lucha Underground anymore, I immediately think of Aerostar. So I kind of had a hint going into this match when Mundo said we're going to have to get a new partner. I was like, okay, well, it's going to be Aerostar. And I said it before he came out, and then he came out, and you were like, what? And I was like, yep, that had to be it. And they also, it's like an allusion to the final segment of the night, a match made in heaven, maybe like a marriage kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because my mind always goes to the darkest place of Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, man.
I really have to commend them, dude. I think they did something that WWE and his whole.
And by the way, I just want to say, Thunder Rosa said in chat, John, of course, has a problem with what I name my minions. And I'm not a big fan of the Jeremiah Snake thing either. I think you could have gone Jera Viper Crane or Jeremiah Croc or something along those lines. I don't know. Jeremiah Snake definitely feels a little bit campy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely snickered inside whenever I had to say it. But yeah, I really feel like Lucha Underground has gotten right what WWE couldn't do in his entire tenure, which, I mean, he was a babyface for several years there. And that's really have him be a face that works because, like, his swagger's still there. He's still got that cockiness, you know? He's not trying to be like, and I will even say, like, I've seen clips of his Impact Wrestling stuff as a face, and it's not bad, but you can still see, in my opinion anyway, from what I've seen, which maybe I'm wrong, but they're still trying to do what WWE tried to do. Like, oh, just, you know, be this likable guy. And, like, there's different kinds of likability. You don't have to go for the most vanilla flavor. You know what I mean? And I think Lucha Underground understands that, to their credit. As far as the match itself goes, I mean, everybody did stuff. You know, like, there was a sequence early on in the match where bodies were everywhere. I will say, for as much as I've been picking on Jeremiah Snake, him and Cobra Moon had a great double team where it was like a wheelbarrow, and then he like fed Cobra Moon into Mundo with the Bulldog on everybody.
That was such a great spot, dude. I loved that. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really appreciated a lot of what I saw here. Great back and forth with everybody. You know, Taya and Cobra Moon going at it. That was really cool. And yeah, the finish, it comes down to Drago and Mundo. Mundo takes Drago out, hits him with End of the World. Worldwide Underground wins. Johnny Mundo gets his wish, so I'm already like telling DBK to suck it because he was thrown in my face, like, well, not all day, but like for the last few hours. And I'm like, yeah, no reptile tribe for Mundo. And then he gets on the mic, and I'm like, okay, well, clearly he's more of a technico having Aerostar on the team. So, like, is that going to play into his wish? And he did not wish for a lifetime supply of Modelo, even though I really still would have smiled big at that. He gives his wish to Aerostar to free Drago. And, like, wow, what a freaking arc for Mundo. That, like, because think about this, too. They beat Lucha Super Friends, but they lost the Trios titles to Worldwide Underground to Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix. Yeah. And now here Mundo is coming full circle, helping these guys out, save for Phoenix because he's dead. That's amazing to me. And again, it's a babyface done right. And it logically makes sense. Look, Johnny Mundo has a lot of bad karma in the temple. I can imagine that not a lot of people probably wanted to team up with him. For Aerostar to agree, it makes perfect sense to me that Johnny would want to recognize that and be like, you know what? He stepped up. We're not the most liked in the locker room. Let's give him this. And Taya's freaking out, which I'm like, oh, God, don't tell me that we're going to finally do this dissolution. You know, Taya's like, I've eaten super kicks for you. I've been assaulted for you. I've done all this for you and whatever. So, yeah, she's freaking out. She's like, you're stupid. You're really going to give Aerostar this wish. But the best part comes in when he's just looking at her and he's like, let's give them a moment. So
that was so good, dude. Yes. Give them their moment. I love it.
Johnny Mundo has some amazing one-liners in Lucha Underground history. Aerostar undoes the
is there a greater one-liner though than there's no time for pants?
No, absolutely not. And if you think differently, you're wrong. But yeah, Aerostar undoing the chains of Drago. So I guess it's Drago Unchained. And
oh my God, I can't believe I didn't connect those dots either.
Do I get an A for that?
You get an A+ for that, my friend.
Yes, no summer school for this guy, even though it's August. So yeah, Johnny Mundo, really, again, the ultimate babyface act to me. And then Taya again just freaking out like you're an idiot, you know, you blew it, all that stuff. And she seems like she's gonna walk away, and he's like, you know, Taya, Cobra Moon couldn't grant my wish because only you can. And then PJ's kind of fuddling for the ring, kind of fumbling for it. He gets it, Mundo gets it, and he's like, will you marry me? Like putting his serious voice on. Taya was like, yes, they kissed, and they had a Macho Man Miss Elizabeth moment complete with the music. And it's just the best time to be a Mundo fan right now. My God. It was beautiful. Absolutely.
It was pretty great.
Of course, I say it's the best of times, But we get to the next cinematic, and it could also be the worst of times. Ashton, I'm going to let you explain to the people what happened here.
Oh God, it's so anxious, Aardvark. So we see Ricky Mundo saying, "Oh, he also has a wish that Taya and Johnny are together until death do them part." And then he looks in a mirror and starts grinning evilly as his doll Rosa laughs.
Why couldn't Cobra Moon just take him? We don't want
right?
him.
Kill him, revive him
worst.
with Venom. Yeah, like that would fix so much.
To quote Kevin Owens once talking about The Miz, you left us with the worst one. Like, you couldn't take him. God. But yeah, I really am scared of that. But again, like, this is why I'm excited to be a Mundo fan post-title reign, because he's back to being a Technico. When, to be honest, he had a very fulfilling Rudo run that included a world title reign. Like, once he became a Rudo because he wanted to be Lucha Underground champion. Once he won that title, other than getting it back, there's really no substantive motivation to keep him in the heel role. I love him in the heel role. You know this. But if he's going to like be low-blowing bad guys and doing the same thing, copy-paste, but to other Rudos now, I can live. I can live quite happily, in fact, with that. And now you really have a chance to make Ricky Mundo a big heel, because now Johnny Mundo is building up the Technico kind of karma, freeing Drago, proposing to Taya. He could be a top babyface now. And if the fans really embrace him as such, it's going to be all the more devastating when Ricky Mundo, and I don't know if he's going to change the last name now because maybe he's not feeling it anymore, when he gets the one up on Johnny Mundo. So we have a chance to really make a unique heel here. And that just really excites me to no end. And, that's the brilliance of Mundo. So I'm just along for the ride, man. I think it's great.
Absolutely. And that's all we've got for this show.
Yeah, you've got no concluding remarks?
Let's get into our next segment.
All right, well, before we get into our next segment, I just want to do plugs. First of all, guys, with Lucha Underground Reviews, we have an all Lucha Underground content ever playlist. So if you're new to our Lucha Underground Reviews, or even if you're familiar with them and you just want to kind of recap some of our best moments, it's all right there in the Lucha Underground playlist. Everything from my Mundo world title win markout to Ashton's freak out of the very first Ultima Lucha main event between Prince Puma and Mil Muertes. I mean, a lot of characters can die in that temple, but our spirit and our commitment to the best commentary endures. So it's all in the All Lucha Underground Ever playlist. Check it out. Also, be sure to check out all the media that TWitWoW is associated with. Be sure to visit the Facebook page, leave a like on it. Be sure to visit both of our Twitters. My Twitter, the pinned tweet, is to collect Q&A questions. Q&A is August 30th. Last Thursday of every month. It happens to fall on August 30th this time around. Submit your Q&A questions if you haven't already. You've still got over 3 weeks to do so. If Twitter really isn't your thing, which, again, you could reply to the pinned tweet or DM me. You could also visit the Facebook page and inbox us. You can comment on this video when it's done processing, or you can join the Discord, and I'll get to that in a second. Ashton's pinned tweet. Actually, no, wait, I got to finish Q&A here. 4 questions per Q&A, and you can divide them up however you like. Ashton's pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule. It has been a very busy summer for TWitWoW with no signs of stopping. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of everything that TWitWoW is doing, your best bet is to check in regularly with Ashton's TWitWoW schedule. That is his pinned tweet. So that's a great reason right there to follow Ashton. And outside of Twitter, we have a TWitWoW Teespring store. A lot of merchandise offerings. We even have TWitWoW specific merch. I'm a TWitWoW guy. I'm a TWitWoW girl. We have merch for performers. Like we have a Naito Tranquilo shirt. Where really it's like an LIJ thing, but we know Naito's like the head of all that. A Braun Strowman, I'm not finished with you t-shirt. So yeah, be sure to check out all of our offerings there. And finally, the Patreon. Now the Patreon's changed a little bit. As you guys know, we are no longer doing, at least for the foreseeable future, Progress Live reactions. What we are now doing is a bundle, at least for this month, of SmackDown Live and 205 Live reactions Tuesday nights. The reason we're doing that is because we met our $120 goal. However, if we ever fall short of that goal, how it works will be if we're at $80 or over, it'll be SmackDown Live reactions. If we're $40 and over but below 80, it'll be 205 live reactions. But ideally, we're always going to do both for you guys. And if you want to make sure to keep that up, that we're always doing both SmackDown Live and 205 Live, the goal is the same, $120. And to keep us there, if you haven't already, please consider joining the TWitWoW Discord. Yes, we have our own Discord. We discuss everything from wrestling to video games to music to anything you can think of. We get together. We do Raw together. Not so much SmackDown now because, obviously we're live reacting. But we'll recap the events. I guarantee you there's probably going to be a lot of conversation in there with the Mae Young Classic coming up. We had our Parade of Champions today. Bracketology is going to be on the 29th. So a lot of conversation is going to be going down on that in the Discord. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, the community's nice and all, but what about me? Well, I call this a win-win-win-win for a reason, because if you donate $3 to join the Discord, you help Team TWitWoW with all of our projects. You make sure that we can keep doing SmackDown Live and 205 live reactions. You get to be a part of a great community in the process. But if you keep up with your commitment of $3 a month, soon that translates into content control. Formula I always like to use is if you're a member of the Discord for 10 months for $3 a month, that comes out to $30. What does $30 get you? It could get you a live reaction to a 3-hour show of your choosing. So, yeah, guys, a lot to gain from a simple $3 donation to join the Discord. So if you haven't yet, it would mean a lot to us if you did so. And to everybody that has made sure that we can do SmackDown live reactions and 205 live reactions for this month, thank you. You guys are the best. You guys are amazing. So with that said, we can get to our next segment, high spots and low shots. And because she's here and she feels the need to throw salt my way, I'm going to say that my low shot is Cobra Moon, the queen. Because not only did you fail in your bid to recruit Johnny Mundo, which anybody with a brain could have seen coming because you don't mess with the best in the world, or dare I say Mundo, you also went down another member. You're the reptile tribe. You might as well be the fly tribe because your numbers are dropping as such. First, you lose Vibora, and then Johnny Mundo's wish makes it so that you lose Drago. Things are not... Oh, but you gain Jeremiah Snake, though, so... Golf clap there. So, yeah, you're my low shot because you need to get your tribe together. Otherwise, I'm going to be assuming that you got your little queen crowned out of a Burger King bag there. So yeah, that's my low shot is Cobra Moon. Who's your low shot, Ashton? I'm guessing Ashton is tied up with something, you guys. I'm hoping things are okay. But,
no, I'm sorry. I actually said something. I just forgot to unmute my mic.
Okay. What did you say?
Oh, no. I was going to say, I feel like you're going to be my low shot when she gets her hands on you. Goddamn.
I know, right? I really went hard on that, but I've been saving that forever. I knew Worldwide Underground would come out on top. Yeah!
Well, I guess you kind of gave me a layup here then. I'll take my low shot. It's going to be Mariposa because she, she put some effort into getting a Gift of the Gods title match, and it didn't work out for her at all.
Yeah, it really didn't. That's sad. High spot. Hell, I'm going to keep going with it. It is a beautiful night. When is it not a beautiful night? To be a Johnny Mundo fan, baby. He got the wish, he got the pop, and he got the girl. Yeah! Johnny Mundo had a great
I feel like you
tonight.
need to do like a freeze frame for that.
Yeah! Can't
even know who I can give my high spot to, though.
But yeah, Johnny Mundo, great night. Won the war with the Reptile Tribe. Helped Aerostar in the process, cementing his place as a Technico again, which is very interesting territory, especially with Ricky Mundo seemingly primed to take that top heel spot, honestly. Waiting in the wings and proposes to Taya in a beautiful moment. And that doesn't result in the dissolution of the group because I was afraid of her being upset at first, like that was going to come. So that was avoided. So yeah, great night for Worldwide Underground and Johnny Mundo specifically. So who's your high spot?
Yeah, my high spot, and I'm actually going to take it from that same match. My high spot's going to go to Drago because he's free.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be so interesting. You got to wonder now if Aerostar and Drago, if they're going to try and find a way to bring Phoenix back and reform Lucha Super Friends. You know, you never know. But yeah, I love that pick of Drago, man. I think that's great. And with that said, do you have anything you want to say about Lucha Underground?
I will add no more. I am ready to finish this out. This is a fun episode, and I'm glad that we got to watch it, and I'm ready for the next one.
All right, guys. With that said, this has been Lucha Underground. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment on the video when it's done processing. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make yourself nice at home in your new favorite wrestling podcast. And I've started to add. Click the bell for notifications. I know we have some loyal viewers that are like, damn, I missed this. I really didn't want to miss this. Now you'll never have to. If you click the bell for notifications, you'll always be updated when we go live with something. So, please do that if you haven't already. And, of course, like the video, because the more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for Lucha Underground reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. And given that he's been hustling for us so much lately, if that wasn't enough to convince you, the more likes you leave, the more likely James is to see his wife and his kids. Do not keep this man from his kids, people. Leave that like. I already gave all the plugs, so I'm not going to go through that, anymore, because I already did that at length. So what I will say, guys, is we will see you again at 11:30 for our NXT review, where Johnny Wrestling is taking on Aleister Black. Will Gargano once again meet the fate of the Black Mass? Or is Aleister Black going to find out that there is no escape? Gargano escape, that is. All right, guys, we'll get your best coverage of NXT here at 11:30. And until then, tune in and peace out.